Okay, hello guys. Welcome to the first Q&A session for Girls into Tech program. Uh, we're going to just have a very short session. Yeah, it's not going to be entirely short. Yeah, you're just going to be given an opportunity to ask questions with regards to the things that you learned. Ruth, good to have you here. I can see you in the studio. Uh, Ruth, can you hear me? Okay, for the people that are on the live stream, I would like you to just drop a comment in the comment section stuff like that, so I can. Yeah, please just say hi so I can greet you right back. Yeah. Okay. Our community manager, good to have you here. Ido, Philemon, good to have you here. Tambari, good to have you here. I wanna be a Okay, so let's see. Ole, good to have you here. Linda, good to have you here. Aisha, good to have you here. Hello, can you guys hear me? Sorry, I think I lost my network for a second there. Good to have you here, Glory, Bassi. Good to have you here, Catherine. Let me bring in the tutors to the stage. Ruth, good to have you here. Toby, good to have you here. Toby and Ruth, can you guys hear me? If you can hear me, please let me know.
Hi, David. Yeah. Hi, David. Yeah,
Good,
I can hear you. Thank you. Thank you.
great. Okay,
Can you hear
great.
me as well?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. I can hear you.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, so I will be requesting from Ruth. Ruth, can you hear me? Okay, so Ruth, just let me know when you're able to say something. Yeah. Okay, so let's continue. Where did I stop? Okay, I stopped here. Catherine, good to have you here. Odedei, good to have you here. I'm really sorry if I've murdered your name. Victoria, good to have you here. Olua, fire me. Good to have you here. Esosa, good to have you here. Sarah, good to have you here. Glory Bassi, good to have you here. Thank you for always, engaging. Tambari, thank you. Uh, Akinyemi, good to have you here. Thank you, Esosa, for engaging as well. It's kind of breaking. Lawan, okay, yeah, I think it's gonna be fixed up. Alfred, Judith, good to have you here. Emily, good to have you here. Udunayo, good to have you here. Ole Green, good to have you here. Rufina, sorry, good to have you here. Glory David, good to have you here. Oluwaseun, yeah, good to have you here. Really sorry for murdering your name. I'm so sorry. Okay, it's really nice to have everyone here, and I'm super excited to be in this Q&A session. And I am very sure that the other tutors are also like super excited to be here to answer your questions. Ruth, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me too?
Yeah, sure, I can hear you. Good to have you here too. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm all right. And you?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine too. I'm doing fine. Okay.
Good evening, everyone.
Okay, so how are we gonna start the Q&A session? So the whole idea of Q&A session is just so that you can ask questions. So if you have any question for any of the tutors, that's myself, Toby, Ruth. If you have any question at all, you can just drop in the comment section. I have a question. Oh my goodness. I'm supposed to do something quickly. Yeah, so you can just drop on the comment section, I have a question, I want to ask a question. That way I will be able to know that, okay, you have a question, and we will be able to like answer your questions. Yeah, so just let us know whether you have any questions at all. Yeah. Okay. So how about just okay? Glory is asking about Justina. So Justina is not here at the moment, but you can still drop your question. She should join us anytime soon. So I'm adding back Toby. I think we lost you there, Toby, at some point. Uh, okay, so we have a question here. Okay, yeah, the community manager says that Justina will be here shortly or very soon. So we should be expecting Justina. So you can drop your question for Justina, but just let us know that, okay, it's for Justina. And Biaya or Philemon, you said you have a question. Can you ask your question? Uh, who is your question directed to? Can you like, how do I communicate and collaborate with developers and clients? Okay, so this question could be to me or to Toby. So can you like be specific? Is this question directed to me or is directed to Toby? Because the way I would respond to that question will be different from the way Toby will respond to it. Yeah, because I'm assuming you're trying to ask, like, if at all it's Flutter Flow related, I'm assuming that you're asking this question with regards to Flutter Flow. So, but just try and be specific. How do I communicate and collaborate with developers and clients as a UI UX designer? Okay. So as a UI UX designer, so this question is going to be for Justina. Yeah. So we're gonna wait until Justina comes, and then she will like respond to this question. Yeah. But if she's not here on time, we will make contributions to that particular question. Okay, so Lawan also has a question. It's pertaining to UI UX design. Okay. All right. So yeah, Blessing, good to have you here. I think someone else said hi. Chigozirim, good to have you here. Moi, good to have you here as well. All right. So okay, so the current questions that are directed towards directed to Justina, and she's not yet here. So okay, so someone has a question for Miss Ruth. Yeah. So what is your question, Esosa? Do you want to ask the question like verbally? Do you want to be added to the StreamYard so you can, say it with your mouth, or do you want to like drop it as a text? If you want to join us in the studio, we can drop a link for you. Drop the like to join us here and then ask the question. So this statement is directed to Esosa. Would you like to ask your question verbally, or you just want to like type it in? Okay, while we're waiting for Esosa to say something, there's another question here for Ruth. Yeah, my question goes to my teacher, Miss Ruth. How do a social media manager create a content? Okay, so Ruth, this question is directed to you. Uh, okay.
Hello. Good evening, Green. So your question is, how do a social media manager create content? First of all, you need to understand. I'll list out some steps for you, and I really hope it helps. You need to understand the brand you're working with. Understand the brief, what is expected from you. Then when you understand it, remember during the last class, I made mention of creating content pillars. So you have to create content pillars that are in line with that brand. So let's say you're working with a brand that sells food or skincare products. You need to create products pillars that would enable you reach your target audience, or that are of interest to your target audience. For example, some pillars could be, why is it essential to have like benefit of having a good skin, something about good skin or different type of skin. You can just have something around that and talk about it. It could be skin education. You could name it skin education just for the purpose of that. And how do you create content, and how do you see what to write? That's why we have Google. You make a lot of research. You make a lot of research. Another thing you do is that you can also follow similar brands or competitors and see what they are doing. Do not copy, because once you copy on social media, you'll be called out. But just have an idea of what is expected, especially those brands that already established or ahead of you. So I think that those are the best way to create content. And lastly, make sure your contents are not um, just in one particular way. You should have various type of content. Just make sure. So, for example, you have videos, memes, images, and whatnot. So just try to engage your audience. But if you make use of Google very well and research a lot about what to write, you would never run out of content. I hope I've been able to answer your question, Green.
Okay. Ms. Ruth, thank you very much for contributing to that question. Um, uh, Ole Green, I would like you to say something. Have you been given like adequate response to your question? If you have, please just let us know that you have, so I can flash it here on the screen. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Ruth, for contributing. Okay, so there is another question, and I think this question is also for you, Ruth. So the question is, how have you been able to stay on top of trends when you serve an international audience? Yeah.
That's a very good question, because some trends are peculiar to Nigeria, and they are not relevant to the international audience. For example, this no grief for anybody. You can't use it when you're serving an international audience because they would not understand. But one thing you should make sure you should do is, one good tool to use or one best platform to use is Twitter, and try to look for trends in the city or the country you are working with. Also, the way we have Easter Block Nigeria is the way these countries to have their own platform where they share news or these things. So just try to stay and follow those people. Lastly, for your own good, when you know you're serving an international audience, try to use your personal accounts to follow similar brands. So if I'm working with let's say Lloyd's Bank is a bank in the UK, I will use my personal account to follow banks like Halifax, Revolut, Metro. They're all banks in the UK. Yeah, because what this will do is it will give me an idea as to what kind of content they are posting. And like I said, you follow their own influencers or people that share their own news, and use Twitter. So you can change your trend search or your search on Twitter from Nigeria to any other country. This will give you an idea as to what is happening. But there are some there are some trends that um they are relevant to almost everybody. I remember when we were doing this award, this popular award, is it Met Award or something they do? So sometimes you see trends from that and is relevant to everyone. That's a different scenario. But when a particular trend is not relevant to international audience, for you to jump on their own trend, follow brands that expose or talk about this thing. Use Quora, use Twitter, and you'll be able to meet up or know what's happening there. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ruth, for your response. Thank you for contributing to that. Esosa, I hope that you have, received the proper explanation to your question. Okay. So we have other questions as well. I think, Ruth, you have another question. Oh, so not Ruth. This is for Justina. Okay. So Miss Justina, in user research, how or where do I get people to participate in user interviews? For example, in accessibility testing, where I'm looking for people with disabilities. Okay, so we will still keep on waiting for Justina to join, But if at some point she doesn't, we will contribute to this particular question. Okay. Yeah. So, but let's just wait until she joins us. Rufina, just sorry about that. Let's just wait until Justina comes up. Okay. All right. So we have like a comment about Mr. Toby's class. Hi, good evening. The web development class with Mr. Toby has been satisfying. Thank you very much. Toby, thank you very much for being an excellent teacher. Do you have something to say to Daniela, Mr. Toby? Oh, I think Mr. Toby is having like a technical issue. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I think maybe when he comes back online, he will say something to you, Daniela. All right. Let's see. Okay. Okay, Mr. Toby is back. Mr. Toby, can you hear me? Mr. Toby, can you hear me? If you can hear me, Daniela sent her flowers, yeah, by saying that your class has been really satisfying. Yeah, so would you like to say something back to Daniela? Justina is here, so I'm adding Justina on the feed. Justina, good to have you here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Good evening, David. Hi, everybody. Good evening.
Good, good
Good evening,
evening.
Ruth and Toby. Yeah.
Okay, good to have you here, Justina. So, Toby, I think Toby is
Thanks.
still having I think Toby is still having technical issues. While we're waiting for him to, respond to us, I'm going to flash some question that has to do with you, Justina. So there's a question here. I think let me look for the very first question that had to do with you. Okay, so Lawan said, I have a question, but it's pertaining to UI UX design, please. So Lawan, Justina is here, so please kindly drop your question, and then I will flash it here. Then there's another question, and it was targeted to you, Justina. How do I communicate and collaborate with developers and clients?
Okay, so basically, I'll start with collaborating with developers, right? So as a UI UX designer, right? So basically, what your work is to design and hand over to developers for development, right? So when it comes to collaborating with them, right, all you have to do is communicate effectively, right? When they have any feedback on your design, because trust me, when you hand over your design, even before you hand over your design, right, they're going to have feedback for you. Even in the design process, it's a very good practice to actually have the developers, carry them along in your design process, maybe during planning, right, during brainstorming sessions, right? Maybe you want to carry out a design sprint, or you want to plan out what the application is going to look like, brainstorming features, how it's going to play out. It's good to have them in the communication so that they can actually give you pointers of what is possible, basically what is possible, and actually, give their feedback to you, right? Which would actually impact your design, right? So that's one, collaborating with developers. However, when it comes to when you actually handed off your design to the developers, your work doesn't actually end there, right? Most times, from experience, right? Most times after you hand off your design, you might notice that it has not been implemented properly the way you actually handed it over to them, right? So you actually have to come in. You don't have to say, I've handed off my design. If the developer doesn't implement it properly, it's their business. No, your work doesn't end there. You have to actually help them actually implement the design correctly. And a way you can do that is, to have a session with them and be like, this is not, one is, okay, let me just go. There are two ways, right? So you can actually, if it's a mobile app or a web, right, you can actually audit the platform and document your feedback, right? Even as you document your feedback, provide recommendations for improvement and hand over to the developer. Or if you have extra time, you can be on a call with them and However, you must have actually first of all documented the feedback so that you know what exactly is wrong and what pages have issues, right? So you have to actually you know, be on this session and make adjustments on your design, right? So that it can actually turn out perfect the way you actually designed it. So that's that on collaborating with developers. You just have to be patient with them, right? Don't be violent in any way. Just be patient and give your feedback and respect everybody. So when it comes to working with clients, right? So let me look at that. How do you communicate and collaborate? So communication, right? When it comes to communicating with your clients, yeah, first the medium of communication, right? Where whatever medium it is, it's actually fine. Most times it could be email so that you can have something to reference to, right? And also make sure that you actually have your contract signed, right? You have a document that shows what your client wants. You need to have all those things, right? So that there won't be any back and forth, right? And depends on how you actually plan to work on the project with your client. That also has to be defined. If it's on timeline basis, if you want to get paid based on I think it's deliverables, yeah, for each deliverable, if it's at the end of every project. So you just have to have a contract that specifies all those things, and just be respectful with your clients, no matter how they come out. If they're under pricing you or anything, just be respectful. You never can tell what tomorrow brings. So that's basically that on collaboration with your clients. And when they design, as you design, right, you can keep them in the loop, you know, let them know where you are currently, what is being done, maybe after the wireframe, right? After you can show them the flow. If you created a user flow for your project, for your design, right? You can show them that. If you've created a mood board, right? You can, show them what the mood board looks like. And yeah, and also after you've come up with your digital wireframes and your prototype, let them have a look, let them be in communication, like let them know what you're currently working on. So you have to communicate that to them and get their feedback, make improvements, and from there till you complete your project and you hand off and the deal is closed. So basically that. I hope I've been able to answer your question, Philemon, I guess.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ruth, for Justina. Sorry, thank you very much, Justina, for your response. I have something to say to this question, like more like an addition, right? So
Okay.
as a product designer, right, it's always very important for you to communicate like certain features
Yeah.
to developers, yeah, before you even go ahead and design it, like because sometimes you might end
Yeah.
up designing something and the developer might not have the skill level to implement what you have designed with code. So
Mm.
it's always very important to have like this very strong communication with the developer while you're designing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just what I want to add to what you said. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Thank you
Hi,
very much,
hi
Justina.
guys. Hi guys.
Yeah, Toby, good to
Yeah,
have you back.
yeah. Sorry, my network and all of that. And I was on mobile, but yeah, it's nice to be here with you guys again. I think I got a comment the other time, and I just want to say thank you. Was it Debra or someone? I'm not sure who exactly now, but
I will flash it back. I think it was Daniela. Let me look for
Daniela.
it and flash it back. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you, Daniela. Anyway, that's really good. It's good to know that you're getting value, Daniela. Yeah, and I
Okay.
think I joined in whilst you guys are talking about designers and or UX and UI designers and developer. Trust me, it is always a war, and it is always a war between UX and UI developers and designers and developers. It is always a war because just because you can do all of the graphics work as a developer, yeah, I don't like UX people. Trust me, I don't. And eventually, if you become a web developer,
Wait, Toby,
someone that
I'm here. Oh, you're saying it to my face.
yeah. I mean, that's the truth anyway. And then it is everywhere. White, black, whatever race you're from, is the same experience everywhere. Developers around the world don't like UX and UI people. They just go around and then create all of the interesting and fine design, and then they bring it to you to do all of the hard work. Like no. So yeah, if you eventually become a UX and UI developer, please make life easy for designer, make life easy for developers, please, so we can stop this war.
Okay, well done. Thank you very much, Mr. Toby. Okay, so we have another question for you, Mr. Toby. Merry evening, everyone. My question is under image tag. Can we copy an image from our computer and paste it in our HTML folder and work with it?
Um, yes, Mary. Yes. Sorry, Asa. Yes, you can do that. Yes, you can do that. And basically, I think we talked about this in the class. Like, there are two major ways to link images uh, to your website. One is either you use the absolute method or you use the relative method. And then, the relative method is the one that you link with your local file, through your local folder. The other one is the one that you can do using external image link from the internet. But whichever way you want, whichever approach you want to take, you definitely still need to use the image tag. So basically what you're just doing is deciding where you want to source your image from. So do you want to source your image from the folder, or do you want to source it from the internet? But yes, you can. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Toby. Abraham, I hope you got value from that response. Uh, okay, so let's go to another question from Daniela. Hello, Mr. David. Why can't Flutterflow be used on Android phones? Okay, so with regards to this question, yeah, so you can only use Flutterflow either from your laptop or from your iPad. So Flutterflow has not innovated to the point where you can, use their platform to build mobile and web applications just with your smartphone, right? So yeah, it hasn't reached that point yet, but I think there will be a point where that could happen. Yeah, because uh, what I know about Flutterflow is that they're innovating like really, really fast. So maybe there'll be a point where you'll be able to build applications just with your smartphone. But for now, it's not applicable. It's not applicable yet. Yeah. So I hope this particular response helps you too. All right. So Esosa sent in her response. Makes sense to me. Thank you, ma'am. Okay. So there's another question from Abraham. I think it's directed to you, Mr. Toby. Again, under unordered list tag, how do we generate Roman figures? Example, I, and I.
Right. So if you can remember this particular day that I was talking about on that list tag in the class, um, Roman figure was the word that I was looking for. I actually forgot what the word was, and then I had to like type in the text in the comment section so the students can understand. That is how bad it was. Um, but yeah, so it is possible for you to generate Roman figure, and then in the next class we are going to touch on it so everybody can see it in practice as well. So you can generate Roman figures, or you can generate by default it will generate numbers, but then you can generate Roman figures as well. So in the next class, I'm going to show you how we can do that.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Toby, for your response. Abraham, I hope you got value as well. Okay, this is a thank you to Miss Ruth for clarity. This is from Ole Green. Um, so we have another question from Emmanuel, Eddie Boy Emmanuel. So I have a question for Miss Ruth. Let's say you're working remotely. How do you do content for a foreign brand? Yeah.
I think I answered this. This is almost similar to the question
What you
someone
said earlier, true,
asked.
true.
Yeah, but I would answer again. So if you're working for a foreign brand, the first thing you should do is understand the brand you're working with or for. Understand what they are out there for. If it's already an established brand, you know that they don't need brand awareness anymore. They just want to engage with their audience, maintain or increase sales. But if it's a new brand, understand if it's brand awareness. Of course, all company want to make sales. Yeah, but understand if it's brand awareness and increase engagement or brand affinity or whatnot. Just understand what's like the objective, and this would happen when you create your social media strategy for the brand. So after creating your social media strategy and you understand what the brand wants, then how do you create content? Very simple. Same way you create content for a local brand, the same way you create content for a foreign brand. Just that this time around, you will understand their tone of voice. Some slangs that you use when communicating to Nigerians, you would not use when communicating with them because they do not understand that. So you speak. If it's a brand that is already established, they already have a tone of voice. You just need to understand that tone of voice. But if you are the one starting up with them, you need to come up with a strategy. And in that place, you also talk about their tone of voice in your strategy document. How do you want to communicate with your audience? Professional, informal, formal. You understand all those things, or you highlight all those things in your strategy. After highlighting that, then you start working. Once the strategy has been approved by your managers or your employers, then you start using that strategy to create your content. And you search for content online. There are 1,001 content. After searching, you can never run out of content. That's one very good thing about being a social media manager. And you can always repurpose content. So for example, this video can be shared as reels, can be shared as you can take like a very good quote from anybody and repurpose it. So you can never run out of content. You can use one particular content in different or several ways. So it's just the same way you create content for a local brand that you create for a foreign brand. You just need to understand what they want or what you are there to achieve for them at their tone of voice, and you start researching and creating and looking out for your content basically. I hope I've been able to answer that, Emmanuel.
Thank you very much, Ruth, for your response. Thank you very much. Edibo, I hope that that particular response has been, useful to you. So let's go to another question. Okay, so there's a question here from Pixel Joy. Hello, Mr. David, it's me from WhatsApp, having difficulty with my database. Can we have a call later if this session is not appropriate? This session is totally appropriate. This is the reason for this session. It's a bit hard to respond on WhatsApp, really. Yeah, so that's why we're having a Q&A session. So I think what can happen right now is I'm going to send a link to the studio. All right. So Pixel Joy. So you click on the link. I believe that you're already on your laptop. So you can click on the link that I have just shared right now and join the studio. When you join the studio, you'll be able to share your screen, because when you send the message on WhatsApp, I wasn't really able to help so much, because for me to help, I'll need to like see what your dashboard, your Firebase looks like. So I think we can just do that right now. So just click on the link and join the studio. Then from there, you will be able to share your screen and I will be able to offer you assistance. Okay? All right, so I'll be waiting for you here in the studio. All right, while we're waiting for Pixel Joy to join the studio and share her screen, we'll just go ahead and look at all the questions. So greetings, greetings. Oh, wow, this is like my flowers. Okay, thank you very much, Pixel Joy. Okay. Okay, so Toby, you have some more flowers. So yeah, so take your flowers, Mr. Toby. Actually, every one of the tutors are amazing. Oh wow, this is flowers for all of us.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, this is flowers for all of us. Thank you very much, Lawan. Really excited to, get flowers. Yeah. So there's a question from Aisha. My question is on the SEO. Please, do I need UI UX design? Okay, so I think this question is to you, Mr. Toby.
Right. So to answer your question, Aisha, under SEO, please, do I need UX and UI design? No, really, you don't. But the concepts, all of these concepts kind of like work together. That's what you need to understand. You need to, any website or any business needs to have a good layout. They need to have a good, be able to have, good interface. So, they can build good user experience around their websites or their digital space and all that. So, with SEO, the only place where UX and UI comes to play, it is all about the responsiveness of the website, how responsive the website is, and the overall user experience around the website. So that is the only thing that UX and UI have to do with SEO. But aside from that, UX and UI is broad, and it is a whole field of study of its own. Um, and it does not really have that much to do with SEO. So to answer your question, no, you don't. You just need to have a basic understanding of what UX and UI is, and then you're fine.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Toby. Aisha, I hope you got value for that. We have another question from Onyinye. Okay, I have a question concerning content scheduling. The question is, I scheduled a post on Meta Business Manager for a page. When I logged in, I realized the post wasn't posted on the scheduled time. Okay. This is question for digital marketing.
All right. So concerning content scheduling, I schedule a post on Meta Business. Meta Business, this is Facebook. Managed for a page. When I logged in, I realized that the post wasn't posted on the scheduled time. All right, so that sounds like something that is impossible. That sounds like perhaps maybe you made a mistake, or Facebook by itself have a problem with their interface. So it is either you made a mistake, or Facebook have a problem with their interface. But from your question, what I can understand is like you are using a scheduling interface that Meta Facebook built, or Meta Business built, and then it should work if you scheduled it for the right time. So one of the things you may want to take note of though is that there are different time, or the zone time. You want to take note of the zone time. So maybe you're in Nigeria, and then the software or the interface that you're using, the settings is in, I don't know, maybe GMT plus one, or another GMT, or some other time around the world, or maybe US time. So you need to have a look at the settings here, and determine what time zone the interface is set in. But maybe Roots will know better. Roots, are you with us? Are you with us?
So I think you answered. Right? I saw that question earlier, and I think throughout like my 5 6 years being in like this marketing, I think it's just once I heard someone mention that scheduling app or two failed them. I've never witnessed it firsthand. So I think, and I did not ask the person what happened because it was when I just started my career. So I wasn't quite knowledgeable. But like Toby already said, next time, please cross check the time zone, either GMT, BST, or WAT. Be sure that you are certain, because from your question you said something about um the post did not go up as at that time. That means it went up later. So be sure that you are using the correct time zone. And I think if it happens again, please reach out to me and let me know. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for your response, Ruth. Let's look at. Okay, so Joy is here. Joy is here in the studio. So Joy, I'm adding you to the studio. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, you can just unmute yourself and say hi. You're like live right now, and you're in the studio. Okay, so the idea was for you to join the studio and then share your screen and get assistance with regards to the issue that you have with Flutter Flow. Can you hear me at all? Okay, so there's a private chat here. So since you're here in the studio, if you can hear me but you're having technical issues, you can just like drop a message in the private chat here in the studio, okay? But I will take you out of the stream for now until you let me know that you're here for sure. Okay. Yeah, so this one is for Toby and the rest of the tutors. Yeah, Toby, I have seen the messages that you dropped here on the private chat. So yeah, we will try to talk about this before we close. Yeah. Okay, let me go back to this other part. Uh, where did we stop? Okay, so there's another question here from Lawan. My question is, why can't I see the shapes dragged in the frame in my Figma preview? It is showing blank even when I have dragged some shapes in the frame. Thank you. So I think this question is for Justina.
Okay, let me look at that question. Okay, so basically, why you can't see the shapes you drag into your, the frame into the frame in the preview is because the shapes are not actually in the frame. So all you have to do is to bring them out of the frame and try dragging them back in. So how do you know if they are now in the frame, right? You can name your frame, right, so that you're sure that's if you have multiple frames to go for this to verify if an element is within a frame, you just have to drag it in, right? And then you can go to the layers section, right? Find that frame and you can see the content that is within that frame. So if you're able to see it, then you know it's within the frame. Or you can just drag out all the elements and drag them back in, or drag out the element that is not within the frame and drag it back in, it should show, and then you can preview, right? So I think that solves it. It is not within the frame, that's why you can't see it in preview. That's basically it. I don't know
Okay,
if
thank you
you.
very Yeah, thank you very much,
All right,
Justina.
thank you.
Yeah, I think Lawan
Yeah.
Lawan should have like had your response. Lawan, if I told you got the response and it's useful, please just let us know in the comment section. Yeah. Thank you very much, Justina. Okay. So I'm looking for the next question. Okay, so I think this is more like a suggestion. Can we have all the assignments in a file, in a text or document format? Okay, so we will look at this suggestion and then, see what we can do with it. Yeah. Thank you very much for mentioning that, Mary. Okay, so Alfred Judith has a question for you, Miss Justina. So can you please shed more light on user persona? Do we meet people to get their feedback, or we create a fictional storyline?
Okay. So on creating personas, right? Like we discussed, so it's a fictional representation of your target audience, right? So and I remember sharing three scenarios, right, on how you can create on when to create a persona. So you can create your persona, right, based on assumption, and once you carry out your user research, actually, check to actually know if your assumptions were right, if your persona you created initially before actually carrying out a user research was actually right or wrong. So for the assignment, I just want to understand if you have learned how to actually create a user persona, and that is why you are to create a user persona using based on the project, right, that I mentioned, I already communicated to us, right? Design or create a persona around for that particular product. So it's based on assumption for now, right? And however, if you're working on a real project and probably for some reason you don't want to create a persona based on assumption, right? You can actually carry out your user research. That's also a very good approach. Carry out your user research and create your user persona based on the data you've gathered from your users, right? So that's basically it. So yeah, for the assignment, just create a fictional representation of your user for an e-commerce mobile app. That's it. but you don't need to meet anybody, right? You don't need to meet anybody. We are going to carry out a user research as we progress, right? But this assignment is based on assumption. I think that
Okay.
answers it.
All right. Thank you very much, Justina. Thank you so much. Alfred, I hope you got value. Thank you for your question. We have another question here for you, Justina. My question is for Miss Justina. Can we use images from our gallery in Figma?
Right, in Figma. How to do that is I showed us the shapes section, right? I believe you can also go and watch the video again so that you understand. We actually um, practicalize it on in the session, right? So you just have to go to the shapes section, and you'll find somewhere you click to upload images to Figma. Yeah, or you can also use, if you're also thinking of other ways to import images to Figma, you can use Unsplash plugin from the Figma community. So just install the plugin and you have multiple images to use for your project. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Justina. Thank you very much. Glory Bassi, I hope you got value for that, for your question. Rafina said, Mr. David, you missed my question. Okay, please, can you like ask it again? I haven't been able to like identify it at the top of the comments. Please just like copy and paste it again. Thank you very much. Sorry about that. Okay. So there's another question here from Mr. Toby. Mr. Toby, my images are still not showing in my news website. It's showing like a picture icon, but not the actual picture. I tried with different images from different sites.
Okay. William, I think I'm familiar with your name, William. So what we're going to do is I would like to take my some of this question. Earlier on, we had a question about using Roman figures for another list, and this is another question. So we are going to treat the two questions that we have so far. We treat it in the class. It is possible, and then what is most likely happening is because we started with CodePen. So because we started with CodePen, you are probably, you probably did not change the link around there, or maybe you did not enter the right file extension for your image. But however, we're going to look into it in depth in the class, and we're going to resolve it together.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Toby. Thank you. So, okay, this was like flowers for everyone. Thank you very much. Praise. Okay, someone is asking, how do we submit our UI UX task?
Okay. So within the Google Classroom, right, when you click on the assignment, right, and you open it, you should see a button that says turn in, like TURNIN, turn in. So when you click the button, you should be able to follow instructions and submit your assignment, right? So that's it. And you can use a Google Doc to actually do your assignments. It's much easier to submit. But however, wherever you do your assignment, you should be able to submit it using the turn in button there within the Google Classroom, basically.
Okay,
So yeah.
all right. Thank you very much for your response. Okay. All right. I didn't know interface was designed wrongly. Okay, so this is another question for Ms. Justina. How do you know an interface was designed wrongly? Yeah.
Okay, so during the start of this course, we looked at the basic principles of UI UX design, right? So your understanding of those principles should tell you if a design is actually good or bad, right? And a good UI or UX design, right? A good design should be usable. It should help solve users' problems, and yeah. So if the design is not doing these things, right, then it is not a good design, right? And also those principles should actually help you to when you are auditing a website, right? Like I mentioned, the heuristic principles, you can use that to audit a website. So if you're auditing a website and you're realizing that some of this website is actually breaking some of these principles of like breaking some of the laws or yeah of heuristic principles, right? So you can actually tell that this website is not good. But if generally if a platform is not solving a user's problem and it's it's frustrating, right? It's not providing value to users, right? Then the platform has issues already. So I believe I'm able to answer your question. But however, just make sure you understand the principles that we've been studying right at the beginning of this course, right? Just watch the videos again and do some research on your own and understand these things. So you should be able to tell. So yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Justina. Thank you very much. Um, okay, so I think this was a comment for an earlier response. Uh, Justina, you have another question. Okay. My question is from Ms. Justina. Please, ma'am, the assessment you gave, we were asked to audit and identify 5 errors on any website of our choice. Do I need to state the name of the website?
Yeah, sure, you can. You can actually do that. But basically, what I want you, what is expected is you make a screenshot of um, what section of the website, right? Because I wouldn't go and look at the whole website to identify where you actually what you're talking about. But basically, screenshot the section of the website where you think something is wrong, and points to the heuristic principle that that particular element or component on the website is actually breaking. And yeah, tell me why you think it is wrong. So for example, I'm going to use an example now. So if someone has an add to cart button and the person is using a flower, I'm just saying for example, because it's an add to cart icon, and or I'm supposed to click there to go to cart and you are showing me a flower, right? You should be able to tell that this is breaking a principle, right? And tell me what principle is breaking, and um basically that's it, and show me a screenshot of it, right? That's just all. And you can actually use what they call that again. You can use a pencil kind of tool or something to actually circle the section or the area, right? So that's basically um that's all. And you can also mention the name of the website though. That's additional, and it's fine. So I hope I've been able to answer your question. Thank you. If not, you can actually ask a follow-up question for better clarity.
Okay, thank you very much, Justina, for answering the question.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to another question. So this question is from Mary Samuel. It says, is it advisable to do tech, mainly web development and a normal job, or should I just focus on tech alone? So yeah, I think this is gonna go to Mr. Toby.
So when you say tech, I would assume you mean everything in tech, or like maybe everything in this program so far. So US UI and everything, because tech is broad. Um, I would say learn as much as you can. Most especially if you're new. Learn as much as you can. Attend the classes as much as you can, because this is the foundation now. And then when you have idea of everything that is going on in different sectors of tech, most especially the ones that we are taking in here, you probably be able to find yourself and determine which one you want to focus on long term. So attend the classes, and then eventually you would know which one you like and which one you want to focus on. But long term, you want to focus on something. It is impossible for you to do everything.
Okay, thank you very much, Toby, for answering that question. But I would like to add something to it. So when it comes to tech, right? When it comes to tech, especially in this particular climb, by climb I mean Nigeria, right? It's not a make money quick system. Yeah. So if you have a normal job, please keep doing the job, all right, while you're still learning your tech, right? Yeah, because it's not so easy like that to just get a job immediately. Just because you're doing tech doesn't mean you're going to get jobs really fast, right? Because the ecosystem is getting really, really congested, right? So it's a bit hard to get jobs. Unlike, let's say, 10 years ago, Okay, so if you have your normal job, just keep doing your normal job. But when you're back from your normal job, you're learning your tech and you're practicing your tech, and then trying to see how you can get a job in the tech area. And then eventually, when you can get that job, you can leave your normal job. Yeah, because the tech job will always pay you better. It's just my suggestion. Don't leave your normal job. Okay.
All right,
Yeah.
thank you, David, for that one. I think I missed out the point of normal job, but now I understand. No, no, please don't quit your job. You have bills to pay, and you have people to take care of, maybe. So just keep your job, keep the money coming in until you have some other source of income. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Toby. Thank you so much. Okay, so there's a question here from Deborah, right? Yeah, Mr. Toby, I have a challenge adding the keyword everywhere to my Chrome. The add to Chrome button isn't highlighted for selection. Could you help?
Um, well, if the add to Chrome is not highlighted for selection, one of the things you want to do first off would be to update your browser. So perhaps maybe that particular extension is not compatible with the version of your Chrome browser, maybe, because it should work. It works for it's worked for me, and then it is working fine. So what you want to do is update your browser, and then hopefully the button is going to be clickable. If not, just start the process all over again. But first action you would need to take would be to update your browser. And if you're still having the same issue, please feel free to ask again, and maybe we can troubleshoot or look into it together.
All right, thank you very much, Toby. Thank you so much. Yeah, let's take off that particular question and then let's go over to something else. Okay, so nobody ever sees my message. Really sorry about that. Okay, so I'm going to look for questions that. Okay, so I think you asked the question again. I have a question for Justina. How do we submit our e-commerce app design task? I think this Justina has somehow responded to this somehow. But Justina, over to you, please. Just say one or two about this. Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to submit it within the Google Classroom. Just click on the assignment and you'll see a button that says turn in. So when you click on that, you should be able to follow the instructions and submit your assignment. That's all. That's it. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you very much. Uh, okay. Someone is saying I'm new here. How do I get the links to join one of the classes? Okay, so the community manager is going to drop a link to the WhatsApp group. So just check this the comment section. You're going to see like a link to join the WhatsApp group. It will be provided very soon by the community manager. Yeah. All right. So Lawan said thank you. Okay, someone made a contribution to someone else's question. I believe you need to have your internet connection turned on for your post to go up on the schedule time. No, I don't think so. You don't need to have your internet connection turned on. As far as you've scheduled, whether you don't have internet connection or not, it's already there. It will go live when it's time. Okay, Ruth, I think you have a question. What are the responsibilities of a social media manager? Thank you.
Thank you so much. However, this question was answered in our first class. So if you can try rewatch the video again, but I'll just highlight or list a few. So just like the name implies, the social media manager handles one or multiple social media pages for clients, brand, and organizations or companies. You schedule content, post content, increase engagement, brand awareness, and this can be done either organically or inorganically. And by inorganically, that's where you do paid ads on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter. So a social media manager also um, schedule posts, create social media strategy, analyzes like post social media metrics, impressions, reach, engagements, and like yeah, create content. You as a social media manager, you must know how to write, um, research, also know how to use um, some video creation to like CapCut or Canva and other tools. Yeah. So if you want to really get like a full understanding of the duty of a social media manager, kindly go rewatch the our last class on who and what a social media manager um is and their duties. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Ruth. Thank you so much. Okay, so we have more questions. Okay. Uh, my question is for Mr. Toby. Is there a relationship between SEO and digital marketing?
Right. So, to answer that question, see, digital marketing compels of SEO mostly anyway. Digital marketing is is the marketing of anything digital. But mostly it compels of like pay per click. Pay per click is PPC, and then this is like the sponsored advert on maybe social media or search engines. And then digital marketing also includes social media marketing, which is what Root is focusing on in this program. Digital marketing includes SEO, search engine optimization, which is what we've been talking the classes that I've been taking. You also find out that social digital marketing includes email marketing. So that is another concept or another bridge in digital marketing. So essentially digital marketing is very broad, but then you just have to like find your spot in digital marketing, because digital marketing is the marketing of everything digital, and marketing itself is broad. Digital marketing itself is broad. So SEO is just one concept or one bridge in digital marketing. Yes, there is a relationship, and then it is just basically a bridge in digital marketing. It's a branch of digital marketing. So I hope that answer your question, MC.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Toby. So someone is asking, how do we save our work in Figma? I think this is for Justina.
Okay, so you don't really need to click anything to save your work in Figma. Once you're done, it saves automatically. So basically, that's it. It just saves automatically. Anything you do is saved immediately.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's another question here. Are we using Figma? I think that's what the person is trying to ask here.
Yes, we're using Figma.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So someone is asking, are we not using Figma for the assignment? We're using Figma for the assignment. We're using Figma for the assignment.
Okay,
Okay.
so I'll speak to that. Not all the assignments, you just go through the assignment. You should know when to use Figma. Like for the ones, the instructions are there. So basically, just follow the instructions and carry out the assignment. If you miss the class, you just watch the recorded video so you understand what's going on.
Right. Um,
Okay.
David, just to bring to your awareness, I think we still have someone in the backstage, Joy.
Oh, that's true. That's very true. Okay, so let me bring Joy back. Okay. Hi, Joy. Are you there?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, loud and clear. We can hear you
Okay, yeah.
loud and clear.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so yeah, welcome. So can you share your screen?
Okay, can you see it?
Not yet. When you share it, I will see the screen somehow. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Please be very careful. This is a live presentation, so don't share anything that is private. We won't be editing
All
the
right.
video. Okay.
All
All
right.
right. Don't show sensitive things. Yeah, passwords, all of that. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so you can share your screen again, so we can see your screen.
You can see it now, right?
No, no. Okay, okay, yeah, yeah. I think I
Okay.
have seen it somewhere. Don't worry, don't worry. I needed to add it to the live stream. Okay, so good. Can see your screen. What did you say the real problem is? You said you had issues connecting the Firebase to the Flow project.
Yes, I already connected. I connected everything, but my issue is that the database like when I create a collection, like on Flutter, like manually, I can't see anything in my Firebase. Like it's not there at all. Even the authentication, which the user collection should create automatically, is
Oh,
also not in Firebase, but it's in Flutter. I can see
okay.
it creating automatically
Yeah,
in Flutter.
I understand. I understand your question now. I think now that you're asking it here on the live session, I think I understand. So go ahead and click on your Firestore here in Flutterflow.
Okay.
Click on your Firestore, like the Firestore icon. Click on it.
Yes.
Then
I've clicked
now
on it.
you, yeah, you said you created this collection, but you can't find it inside Firebase,
Firebase.
right? Okay, great.
Yes.
So this is what you do. The thing is, there is no document in either of the collections, so the collections will not exist in Firebase yet. Like it will not be represented in Firebase. So if you want to see something inside there, go ahead and click on the post. Okay, sorry, no need. Just click on Manage Content. Click on Manage Content. Let's add content
Okay.
manually. There's a big button here. Yeah, just click on it. This is the way to add content manually inside Flutterflow. I wouldn't advise you to add users manually here. The thing is, I think you only shared one part of your screen. You didn't share all your screen. So
Yeah.
where the
Okay. Let
manage,
me let me reshare.
yeah, yeah, try to reshare so we can like see your entire screen.
Okay. 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 Can you see it now?
Yeah, I think so. Yes,
Okay,
I can
so
see your screen.
I yes, this is where
Okay,
I'm
so
on now. Yeah.
okay, click on post. Click on post.
Okay. Well,
Click on
sorry. Let
post.
me let me say something. Can you hear
Okay,
me?
yeah, yeah, go ahead.
The thing is, even the collection is not showing here on Firestore.
Yeah, yeah, I understand. I understand. That's what I'm
Okay.
saying.
Okay.
There is no
Okay.
single
Okay.
document yet inside the collection, so it doesn't show
Okay.
at all because it can't be empty technically. Yeah, so go
Okay.
ahead and click on add document. Click on add document. We just want to add one document. So give that first one a name, maybe a value. Just say hello world. Yeah, hello world. Uh, okay. I can't see everything you typed, right? It still just shows you. Okay. Hello world. Okay, I can see it now. So you can click to maybe choose a date or something. Just where we have post date, just choose a random date. Don't worry about uploading any image. Just choose a random date and yeah, and pick the time and done. Okay, just what else is there? All right, click on add document. Don't worry, just add document. Okay, so now that you've clicked on add document, there's one document now. So if you check Firebase, you should see a collection called post.
Okay. Let me
Go
check.
to your Firebase.
Let
You
me
should,
refresh it and see.
yeah, yeah, try to refresh it. You should see a collection called post now. If you don't, then there is some problem wrong with your connection.
Okay, I've seen it.
Yeah,
Ah,
now
finally.
there's a collection called post now because there's something inside it. So users, you won't see a user collection because you've not created a single user yet. You have not signed the user in using your application.
Okay.
And I wouldn't advise you to use the manage content section, the CMS in Flutterflow to create a user account. Just like do it directly from your app using the debug session. Yeah, I think this.
Okay, it's because yeah. So sorry. I actually ran also did some probably I didn't get my creation and the rest of that, because how I discovered this issue is like when I because I have a page here. So when I already programmed this stuff to like I already added an action to the posts content. I've already done everything, like both the creating. Let me show you. I've already like added done everything like you said we should do, the create content. I already chose the
Have,
collection and
yeah, have you
everything.
finished? Have you set up the
Yeah,
authentication? Have you been able to create an account? Like, did you run the app and then like create an account for a user? You haven't done that yet.
Okay, I need to do that first. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
another issue.
You
Okay,
have to
okay,
run the application first and try to create an account. It's
okay.
gonna take a
Before
long
that
time to
happens.
run a debug session here. Sorry.
Okay, okay,
Yeah, it's gonna take a
okay.
long time
So
to run a debug. But what I would
okay,
advise you to do is just run a debug session. Try creating an account. Like, of course, it will show you the screen that you're supposed to create an account for your user. So when you create an account for your user, you will have a particular document in Firebase for that particular user, and you'll be able to use your application and test all these other functionalities.
okay. So one more question. The last question. The I
Okay.
think the last time I also ran my code, it started with the first page. Yeah. It started with
Oh,
the create account
yeah, yeah, I
page.
understand.
And
Okay.
then I think I don't know if probably I didn't add an action to this button
Yeah,
because
yeah, let me show
I
you.
wanted
Let,
to.
yeah, let me quickly answer that. Sorry, I think I have an idea of what you're asking. Click on the settings icon, the gear icon, so you can change some things on the app details. Yeah, click on that. Go to app details on the top of this. Yeah, app details. So you see here the initial page, the entry page is create account page. It's correct. There's no how it should
Okay.
show you the other screen. So when you
Yeah,
actually run the,
it
yeah,
shows me the first screen actually, but then I wanted to skip. I wanted to skip to the post screen, which I think I
no,
eventually did.
no, you have to sign the user in first before you can see the
Okay.
profile page. Yeah, you can't
Okay.
skip like that. Yeah, it's an application
Okay.
that requires authentication first.
Okay, so so the issue I have is I should make sure I go through the process and then get to. Then another thing is I was because why I wanted to go straight to the post, like the place where I implemented my crude. I actually wanted to go straight to it because I was wondering if I start with the sign up and sign in, will it be able to connect me to the post, like to the place where
Yes,
I
it will.
did my crude? Do I
Yes,
have
it
to
will.
also like um do I have to what do I even call it? Do I have to program that? Is there an action that will lead to that screen showing up? Because I feel like there should be something I will be able to do to like connect both screens.
Yeah, so the way it works is that according to how I did it then, right? So when the user creates an account or logs in, they should be able to they'll be taken to the profile page, which is where everything happens. So, but if at
Okay.
all you did it differently, right, all you just need to do is put a button somewhere else, right, that can just
Okay.
navigate the user to the screen you want the user to see when they click that particular button.
Okay. So
And
okay, so in my actions, I should just go to I should click a button that after the I should create a button that after the authentication it would navigate so there is something like navigate to there, right?
yeah, yeah, that's like how to move from screen to screen. Like
Okay,
there's an
okay,
action called navigate to, then you can just select
okay,
the screen you want to navigate the user to when they click a particular button.
okay, yeah. Because why I'm saying that is because I have three pages. The first and the second are the ones I added in my app detail. That's the create page and the other one. Then this one, the post, the place where I implemented my crude is not like in the both of them. So I
Yeah, I
have to
understand.
automatically I have to do it manually myself for me to be able
Yeah.
to say it. But thank you so much. I will implement that and I'll get back to you. Yeah.
All right, no
Thank you.
problem. Thank you very much. All right, thank you very much.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Okay, let's try to respond to other questions. Or where did I stop here? Well, we have a lot of questions. Oh. Okay, so we have a question here for Miss Ruth. As a social media manager, when handling a client's social media page, do we respond to the message sent inbox or we send to client to respond? Yeah, so these are the questions that we have. Miss Ruth, are you here? Okay, so okay, Miss Ruth is
My
here.
network is breaking. I'm trying to.
Okay, okay, no problem.
As a social media manager, when handling a client social media page, do we respond to messages sent? Okay, there is no yes or no answer to this, right? So you do whatever your employer wants you to do. For some people, if you work with a large team, customer customer representative managers or client service, whatever they are called, they answer this part. While for some, you are both the customer service person and social media person. So it's up to what your manager wants or your employer wants you to do. So there is no yes or no answer. However, for every response you make, not for every first response you make, like if the question is a new question, make sure you cross check your answer with your manager so you guys are on the same page. You do not want to give um a customer a particular answer and come back and start changing it. No. So make sure you cross check your answer with your manager. And thereafter you can have a template for all possible questions. So whenever someone asks, it can be very easy for you to just copy and paste. But yeah, there is no yes or no answer to this particular question.
All right, thank you very much, Ruth. Thank you so much. Okay, so Linda, I think this particular question, I don't know, I think the community manager will respond, but it has to do with this particular channel, right? Yeah. Uh, okay, let's go to another question. Alfred, Judith, Miss Justina, where you talked about opening a Figma, naming pages, and also inserting shapes into a frame, are we to screenshot it and submit? I think this was already answered before. Yeah, but Justina, would you like to say something to this?
Okay, so for this particular question, yeah, just send the link to the Figma file. That's all. Add it to the document you are submitting.
All right.
That's all.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so okay, this question is from me. Mr. David, I've been having difficulties adding a picture or logo to the container, even text in case where the template had a logo and I deleted. I find out the text I added appears to be faint. Okay, so I don't know. Is it possible for you to like, it's not possible to add pictures here. Yeah, but I'm having difficulties adding a picture or a logo to the container. Okay, let me just quickly like briefly share my screen like really fast. Then you can see what I have to share. Let me see. Let me open the Authentico project that we have been working on. Just like really quick, 1 minute, so I can just answer that question quickly. Okay. So yeah, this is me sharing my screen. Let me take this out. Okay, so share my screen, my entire screen. Okay, so here it is. So this is a photo flow. Let's go to a particular page. I will be really fast. Yeah, so let's say we have this is the home screen, like a particular page called home. I'm just going to go ahead and quickly add a container, right? So I'm going to click on the main column and add a container. So this is my container. In fact, let me give my container a color so you can, differentiate it. This is a container. To add an image into this container, right? What you just do is you scroll down on the right-hand side and you will see something here that says background image. So you click to open it and then you change it from network to assets, right? And then you upload an image. Like you click here to upload an image, right? Let's say Albert Einstein, my favorite guy. Okay, so you just upload the image here. So now this container is going to turn into the photo of Albert Einstein, all right? And if at all you want to get your image from the internet, all right, you can just go ahead and copy your image from the internet, but change this to network first and then paste the link here. What you pasted will show here, comment the image address. Okay, I hope this helps. All right, moving forward. Sarah, I hope that helped you. Just like drop in the comment section so we can know. Yeah, so Catherine responded to something Nkem Dilim said. All right. So okay, so mine isn't a question, but it's for Mr. David. Please, when assignments are given, can it be submitted in next week? Because I work 9 to 5, I get home by 6, settle after dinner. Yes, you can submit your assignment, but you can submit it next week, right? But it's not really going to help you so much, right? You just need to like find a way to manage your time, right? Yeah. So, but the best thing would be to submit your assignments during this weekend, since you'll be learning new things the next week. All right. Okay. So the community manager is going to respond to these. Just check the comment section. You see the response to this question. Mary Samuel. Okay. All right. Now this question has been asked a lot of times, I think, right? So, Ms. Justina, please, can you explain what we are expected to do with the fifth question of the assignment, the one with the research plan?
Okay, so the one with the research plan, yeah. The research plan, the attached research plan is a sample, right, that I shared with you. So the question is for you to create a research plan for the Mass mobile application project we want to work on. So we want to characterize a user research, right? Create a research plan for that, right? And I shared a template for you to use. That's the attached one there. So that's basically it. I hope I answered your question.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
All right, thank
All
you.
right. Yes. So, okay. So there's another question here, Ms. Justina. My question is on user research. Where do we get participants for the interviews? In the case of accessibility testing, where how do we get people with disability like color blindness?
Okay, so for the user research, yeah. Okay, I'll just answer this question generally, but we are not actually conducting interviews for our project. We're going to be using surveys, right? But to get users for or to get participants for user research, yeah, you just have to find focus groups like focus groups. You can use focus groups. You can use your friends if they fall into the user group, right? You can use family members if they fall into your user group, right? So there are so many places you can get. You can just be moving around, maybe in your church or something. But basically, focus groups are easier to work with. So, but people are everywhere. It depends on who you are looking for. You can actually find them and get carry out your interview, right? So that's basically it. So I believe that answered your question.
Yeah, thank you very much, Justina. Here's another question for you. What Figma frame did you use for the girls in tech slides you sent to us on WhatsApp?
Okay, I use the presentation frame. It's a default frame within Figma there, so for presentations. So that's what the one I use for the slides. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. So there's this other question. Some of us don't know how to use Figma. Is there a recorded video for us to watch?
Yes, there is a recorded video of an introduction to Figma. Yeah. So yes.
Okay, so you can just check the playlist on this particular YouTube channel that says Girls into Tech, right? You will see all the different tutorials that we've had here in the Girls into Tech program. All right, so you will find the one that has to do with using Figma. Okay. All right. Okay. So there's another question here. Are we designing two different e-commerce apps?
No, no, just one e-commerce application. An example would be Jumia app, right? So we are designing something similar to Jumia application. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So there's another question here from Mr. Toby. Where do we submit your assignment, please?
All right, so we are going to use the same platform as every other instructor, Google Meet. However, I'm pulling the documents together, and then just I'm going to put all of the documents, all of the theories that I've been talking about in the class. I'll put everything together in the Google Classroom, so you have access to it, and then you'll be able to submit the assessment as well in there. But for web development and SEO, I think the assessments are pretty much simple and straightforward. So just compile them for now. Most likely, we are going to submit it maybe by Monday or Tuesday. I'm still creating the Google Classroom area.
All right, thank you, Mr. Toby. This is another question for you. Is it advisable to use the BR tag, the break tag, for formatting large amount of text?
No, it is not advisable. As a fact, the BR tag is not really what people use to break text. It is just what you would probably use maybe when you want to do something quick and you're feeling lazy. So normally there are other things that you can use, the CSS, the JavaScript that you can use to break text around your website. So BR tag, no, it is not advisable. But if you use it and then it does not break anything, your website still come out fine. You're good to go. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Toby. So there is this last question. Okay, Nkam is saying, I can't seem to see the turn-in button on the Google Classroom. Is there a way you can share your screen to show us?
Okay. All right, just give me a second. Okay, David, you can carry on, right? So I'll just find a way to,
Okay, all right, no problems.
Okay, did you hear what I said?
So, yeah, I heard what you said. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, so Sarah, I think this question is directed to me, but you didn't talk about why the texts are faint. Okay, so I don't really know what you mean by texts are faint, but text has properties like the text color, right? And if you use a particular color that is faint, then it's faint. Yeah, so try to see how you can change the color of the text to something black, right? So maybe primary text, something like that. Yeah, I hope this helps you. Tambury said my last question wasn't answered. Yeah, I think your last question is what? All right, Tambury, your last question. Which is your last question? You said I didn't see any Google Classroom link. If you checked your email, you see the invitation. I was sent yesterday. I think you should also check the WhatsApp group. The WhatsApp group, you will see like I think you have to like scroll up. You see the link to join the Google Classroom. Yeah, so I think this is a response from the community manager. So try to just scroll up the WhatsApp group and you will see the link. Justina, are you ready? Tambury, what?
Yes, I'll just show my screen.
Okay, Tambury, just drop your question again. I can't seem to see your last question. Okay,
Can I go ahead?
Yes. Before you go ahead, let me just answer this question. I was asking if we have to pay for any tools in the long run for no-code developers. Of course, yes. You will have to like eventually pay for Flutter Flow, but you don't have to pay. You don't have to pay if at all. When you have like a project that you've been paid to do, let's say by a client, the client will pay for the premium version of Flutter Flow, but you can use the free version and do anything that you want to do and still be good at it. And then of course, also if at all you're a student and you have a student email, you can get 1 year free access to use Flutter Flow, right? Yeah, you just need to use your student email and then request for the 1 year free access. I will talk about the 1 year free access in the next class. Okay, Justina, just one second, 1 minute before you share your screen. There's this other question here from Guda. All right, I'm a new UI designer to this channel. I'm a beginner using Flutter Flow. Is there the possibility to start a practical course? Thank you in advance. Yeah, the course that we are doing here in the Girls into Tech training is totally practical, right? So yeah, just search for the playlist on this channel that says Girls into Tech, and then you will see like the different classes that we've had so far. Okay, thank you very much. Justina, please, the floor is yours.
Okay, so this is from I'll just use this to show you how to submit. Right. So okay, let me just start afresh. Right. So this is a classwork. Assuming this is an assignment that this is how it is, right? So I just click to select this assignment to submit it. You can see it's showing turned in late because I didn't submit this assignment. So okay, so this is how it works. This is the assignment. Okay, I turned it in late, right? So this is basically when you're going to see a submit button right here. For here, it is showing on submit because I actually submitted this assignment. So what you're going to do here is to click on it to submit. So that's basically how to submit an assignment. That's all. So let me just say I click to unsubmit this assignment, right? Right. Okay. So now, assuming for you haven't submitted the assignment. This is what you're going to see. You're going to see turn in, right? And you can see add or create. Here you can actually create your assignment, right? You can use any of these available here. You can add a link. You can use Google Docs, right? Well, I actually prefer using this. So you can use this to create your assignment and actually submit it. So here you can turn it in, right? Um, Yeah. So this is the assignment that I turned in, right? You can, assuming I have not submitted anything, you're going to see a space for you to actually submit your assignment here, whether it's a link, yeah, basically, mostly, usually a link. So you can have here, and then you click turn in, and then that is it. That's basically all you have to do to submit your assignment. I hope I've been able to explain that properly, right? You can see that I have submitted my assignment now, and it has gone back to unsubmit. You get. So that's it.
All right, thank you very much, Justina, for carefully explaining how to turn in your assignment using the Google Classroom. Okay, so I think we have
Thank
reached
you.
the yes, you're welcome. So I think we have reached the last part of the Q&A session. I think this is where we talk about the final project, and this session is going to be handled by Toby. Yeah, Toby, you will let us know how the final project will look like.
Yeah, thank you, David. In the beginning, yeah, when you joined this program, you might have seen our banner. We said we are going to reward people who, or the group with the best project or project proposal at least. So what we expect from you at the end of this program is for you to come together. We're going to try to split you up in groups, and then we expect you to use your skills and your expertise, the things that you've learned so far, come up with a project. And a good thing is in Justina's course, UI and UX, you guys have been talking about project research and all of that. So basically what we expect from you is to put in a project proposal or come up with a project, and then we're going to look at it at the end of the program. So the last week of this program, it is going to be you putting everything that you've learned into practice, and then you submit a final project, and we, the instructors and some other external people who are experts in this field, would look at it, and then we determine what project we think is actually problem solving, and then we are going to reward that group with the sum of money that we have that you saw on our banner earlier. So aside from the fact that this is rewarding, and it is our way of saying thank you for putting in the effort for learning all this while. It is also important for you to do the projects and then work in groups, because it is something good for you in the future to show your future employers that you attended a boot camp, and then during the boot camp you worked in groups, and then you work with diverse or with different people with different skills. I know it's just like a simulation for you, yeah, when you start to work in real life. So don't just do it for the money, do it for your portfolio as well. Back to you, David. Is David still with us? Okay. So, all right, David is still with us.
Yeah, yes, I'm here. Thank you very much for your response and for talking about how the final product will be handled. So I think we have like a few questions. Uh, yes, so information from our community manager. Please do not forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, this particular YouTube channel. And then, of course, always try to see how you can share the links to your friends who are looking forward to learning, skills. All right. We have other questions here. So, Mr. Toby, is there a link made available for submitting the task? I think you've answered this question before.
Yes, I answered this question before, and what I said is like I'm still working in that area of the Google School or Google thing.
That's
So
right.
you guys, yeah, so you guys will have access to the documents and be able to submit.
All right. Okay, thank you very much. There's another question here for you from Blessing. Is there a relationship between web development and UI UX design?
All right. So yeah, for this particular one, there is a relationship between web development and UX and UI. There is also a relationship between David's course, which is the app development, and UX and UI. So UX and UI is basically the design of interface and layout. So it is only of recent, I would say about maybe 5 years or 7 years ago, that it's actually became a big thing. Before now, developers or programmers don't bother about creating designs before, although they do, but they do it all by themselves. So yes, there is a relationship. However, it is different. It is a whole full-time job on its own. So have an idea, have basic idea about, if you want to go into UX, you can have an idea about web development. It's going to help your career long term. If you want to go into UX and UI, have an idea about web development. It will help your career long term. If you want to become a web developer, have an idea about UX and UI. It's going to help your career long term. However, both are like different, and it's a full time job each.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Toby. All right, so I think that brings us to the end of the Q&A session. Yeah, there's this question here, but I don't really understand what it is or how it's connected. What of the developers? Mary, you could like try to rewrite your question so we can understand what you're really asking. All right, so I think this is like the end of our Q&A session, right? Toby, do you have anything to say, like parting words for the weekend?
Yeah, party word for the weekend indeed, David. Well, I just want to say, like, thank you to the instructors. I think individually we are all we've been putting in so much effort to keep this going, because it's not so easy to think that we all have our full-time job and freelancing jobs and family and several other things that is going on in the background that the student don't know, that they don't know of. Ido, particularly shout out to you, though the community manager have been, she has been working real hard to keep this going. Thank you. And then to the student as well, thank you, like, thank you for attending, because if you guys are not here, then there is no point for us to be here as well. As much as you're learning, and then we are very much happy, passing on the knowledge that we have to you. So I hope you guys continue to make best use of this opportunity. And I want to assure you again that this is a whole community. So even after this program, we are still there to support you, to mentor you through throughout all through. So yeah, so thank you for attending this. Should we call it a webinar, David?
Yeah, it's more like a Q&A session. Well, it's a webinar anyway.
Yeah. So that's it from me anyway.
Okay, thank you very much, Toby, for your parting words. The weekend parting words. Yeah. Okay. So, Justina, do you have something to say?
Yeah. Um, so basically, I just want to, thank everybody, right? It's not easy, right, with all the things happening and busy schedule of everybody, including all the tutors and the students. We still make our time to, try to learn and grow. So I just want to say thank you, right? So and I look forward to us doing great things within this, period of time that we are learning, right? So I yeah, basically that's it. So thank you guys.
Okay, thank you very much, Justina. Okay, Ruth has already stepped out. So from me, right, I would like to say thank you very much to all the students who have, actively participated in this training. Um, I know that it is very difficult for you to learn something new. Learning something new has never been easy at all, right? Yeah, because you're spending money with regards to your data and possibly electricity. You have to like go to a co-working space to maybe use your laptop. I totally understand that you're putting in so much of the work to learn, but one of the things that I can assure you is that to every action there's an equal and opposite reaction, right? So you're putting in all the actions right now. There's going to be a reaction chasing you very soon, right? And that's going to be clients asking you to join their companies. That will be ideas chasing you to turn them into business ideas, and you'll be like, wow, I already have the skills to turn this idea into a business, because now I can build a mobile application without writing codes. I can quickly build my MVP, and you will like see the benefits of going through these 3 weeks of learning. Yeah, so there's a huge reward waiting for you, during and after the training, which is the skill that you're getting first. And then also you have access to a large community of different people, right? Like-minded individuals. Try to see how you can take advantage of it as much as you can. And then try to use LinkedIn, right? Yeah, let me just say this particular part, right? So try to use LinkedIn as much as you can for every single thing that you're learning, whether you're joining the HTML class, SEO class, digital marketing class, the UI UX design class, you know any of the classes that you're joining. Make sure that you just go to LinkedIn and like post something about it. it's not
Yeah.
really about it's not really about talking about girls into tech, but talking about yourself. You're promoting yourself as the student, that you're learning something. The reason is because nobody is going to hire you if they don't know that you know a particular thing, right? So you need to provide visibility for yourself. So as you're learning, it's one thing to learn, and then another one is for you to actually get a job after your learning or even during your learning. So shout about it, right? Tell people that I can do this. For goodness sake, you don't have to be perfect at it yet, but say you can. Somebody asks you, can you build a website, but you just started learning HTML and CSS? Say yes, I can. Yes, why not? So just say yes, you can, right? And then the task comes and you will learn on the job. A lot of us actually did learn on the job, right? So try to promote yourself, right? Try to promote yourself. Use LinkedIn a lot this year. If you can, use tweet. I think it's called X now. Yeah, use X as much as you can. Use Twitter as much as you can, right? See how you can promote yourself. Talk about anything. You created a button on Flutterflow, put it on LinkedIn. Write about it. You created an app on Flutterflow. Just write about it. You wrote like some few lines of codes from Toby's class. Write about it. Just say something. All right. The reason is because it's going to help you in the long run. Someone is going to be watching. Some people will be following your progress. Wow. 2 months ago, he started posting Hello World. Now he's actually writing real codes. Somehow like that, you get hired, right? Don't don't hide. There's no need for it. You have to be vocal about what you do. Be vocal about it. In fact, one of the things I can encourage you to do, it might sound funny, right? But it's one of the best things that you can do. You can create a YouTube channel, right? Yeah, this is a hack. You can create a YouTube channel and start teaching the little things that you know. Really, what do you have to lose? So you create a YouTube channel to teach the things that you learn, and in the process, you sharpen your own skills, and you eventually have an audience of people who are learning from you. Nothing better. All right, guys. So those are my own words for you, and I hope you have a lovely weekend. Enjoy yourself. Try and find time to rest. I wish I would take my own advice. Uh, try and find time to rest and enjoy yourself. Okay, for me,
All right,
it's
guys. Bye.
good night. It's a happy weekend. Okay, bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Okay, okay, bye. Bye, bye, bye.